I've lived in New York City for 7 years, and I think it's time that I give you guys my brutal and honest opinion about what I think about living there and if you're thinking about moving there. I made countless videos on tips for New York, on things and what not to do and what to do, but today I'm just going to give you my honest truth about what it's really like living there and things that you need to know if you're thinking about moving there because this city is ruthless. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is just overall happiness. Now, obviously, that is a subjective term, right? But at the end of the day, you want to be relatively happy. You want to be happy with where you lay your head at night. You want to be happy with whom you share your space with. And if you're lucky, you'll be happy with what your job is. But New York, unfortunately, does not really rock that way. Over time, you'll start to notice that New York City will start to eat at your happiness. And it may be in ways that you can't even see. You know, it may be in the lack of routine that you have. It may be in the community that you found yourself in. It may be in the neighborhood that you found yourself in. A big thing about New York City is it's pretty weather dependent, if I'm being honest with you. You hear a lot of people talk about seasonal depression and how gray the city is and how lack of limited greenery the city has. After living there for so long and taking extended vacations elsewhere, I can tell you that stuff starts to weigh on you. And especially as I get older, because I have just turned 30, so I'm sort of looking at things through a different perspective. And I can tell you right now that it does weigh on your happiness. All the grayness, all the rain, all the clouds, your friends and your community is spread out. You're in a big city, but you feel alone. And over time, you can start to really question yourself, especially if you don't like your job or if you don't like your finances and you're getting older. It can be a very daunting reality. And I don't think enough people talk about that. People really romanticize New York City. And that makes sense when you're younger. But as you get older, things just don't really feel the same anymore. When I was young and I had just moved there, you know, I was young and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I was like 24. I would go to a dive bar on a Tuesday just because. I was out almost every single day of the week. And a lot of that has to do with you just having a lot of energy. But that type of behavior just gets old fast. It's like, what am I doing? I'm drinking way too much. I'm spending way too much money with people that I don't even know, who I'm not even going to know a year from now. But that's also part of the beauty of it, right? It's an adventure for sure. But when you look back on some of the decisions that you made, some of the people you used to hang out with, and how much money you wasted living in New York City, sometimes you're probably going to be a little bit disappointed. And I was myself. And the last point on that is, you know, it's really hard to stay emotionally stable when you're giving everything to a city and you're not getting much back at all. Your time, your effort, your energy, your money. And what do you get back? Maybe some good memories here and there. And I don't want to sound pessimistic. I'm just giving it to you real. Because what are the odds? You know what I'm saying? There's a city of 8 million people there. Yes, you can hone your craft. Yes, you can make it big. But it's very difficult and it's very tough. And it always has been. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is it's just too expensive. Like straight up. Point blank, period. No way you can slice it. It's just too expensive for what you're getting. Yes, COVID changed everything. Yes, there might have been some good deals going on during around 2020 or 2021. But ever since that's been done, the rent has just skyrocketed. And it doesn't really make room for anything else. If you want to live alone, you have to make minimum probably 100 grand. And if you want to live alone with amenities and parking and a gym and a laundry in unit, yeah, you can go ahead and bump that up to about $175, 200. Because even when I was making north of 150 grand, I refused to get my own apartment. I was making 150 grand and I refused to pay a $3,000 apartment. And it was very difficult to find one that was close to the city, that had a decent commute, that had decent amenities. I could not find that, even making $150,000. So I want you guys to remember that 1 in every 24 people in New York City is a millionaire. Just let that sink in. Let that sink in. If there's 8 million people in New York City, that means pretty much 2 million people are millionaires. Do you know how many people that is? Do you know how many people you are competing against? Do you know how many people have more money than you? It's insane. I saw this statistic that came out. It's like 52% of the kids are getting help from their parents. So when you look at all these millionaires, you look at all these people who are getting help from their parents, and you don't have that, and you don't have the high-paying job, New York becomes impossible to compete. And good luck. I hope you went to an Ivy League school, because when I go and I talk to these people, one of the first questions they ask me is, where'd you go to school? And once I say my little no-name school down in Baltimore, their attention shifts. So unless you went to a top 10 school and you're of a certain persuasion, thinking you're going to go compete in New York City, good luck. Good luck. Because to be honest with you, I was looking for a job for over a year. Coming from McKinsey, coming from being a consultant, very good resume. I've worked at Yelp, I've worked at Viacom, I've worked for the Department of Justice, and I can't get a job. I can't get a job in New York. I've gone on 5 interviews, did the case studies, JP Morgan, you name it. These people aren't going to hire you. I'm talking to my brothers and my sisters out there. And I want y'all to drop something in the comment below. Seriously, I have a serious question. This is a little off script. But I'm a black man. I'm an African-American man. Highly qualified, highly educated, well-spoken. If I go on an interview, I'm the most qualified, I have the most years of experience, and I clearly did the best interview. If I'm going up against maybe two white people and an Asian person, please tell me in a comment why I would get that job. Why would I get that job? Because if it comes to that choice, I'm pretty sure it'll come down to, can we go out to eat with this guy? Can we go out for drinks with this guy? Can we tell him secrets and he not tell everybody? Can we be honest with him? And I think it becomes less about can this person do the job and more so can they fit within our culture. And if everyone on that team is a certain race and you ain't, I don't know what the incentive is for them to hire you. I don't know what that person can do to get hired. So with that, and I didn't go to all those schools, it became impossible for me to compete in New York City. Even though I always was upper trajectory, always got a job that was better than the last. So back to my original point about how expensive it is. Ubers back and forth from Manhattan to BK or to Queens, less than $50. If you want to get home and you live just across the bridge, pull out $100, $150. If you want to take an Uber from JFK to home or Uber from LaGuardia home, be ready to pay more than you did for your plane ticket. It's happened to me before. I got home from Miami. Granted, we know the Miami plane tickets ain't expensive, but my Uber was $96. I got to Miami for $58. So it cost me more to go 11 miles than it cost me to go, 500. So New York City is just, it's ridiculous. It's not worth it. The train is bad. Ubers are crazy expensive. Taxis are crazy expensive. It's impossible to get around if you don't take the train. Or if it's late at night, you're screwed. And even middle class people are struggling. I know people who pay more than 200, who get paid more than 200 grand, and they have roommates. Yeah, call it being fiscally responsible, whatever. That's the whole point of making that kind of money, so you can afford to do what you want to do, and you can't even live alone. And it's only getting worse. It's not worth it. I hate to say it, guys, but it's just not worth it. If you're 22, 23, 24, 25, sure. But if you're anything less than that, forget about it. And the last thing I want to talk about before I make this video 100 minutes long is just the grind. And, ever since 2020 or 2018 or so, there's a lot of people just talking about the grind, how they get up at 5 a.m, they go to the gym, they do this and that, and they're asleep by this time. Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. New York City is completely different. Depending on what market you're in or what you're trying to do, the grind there is unreal. Yes, it's going to make you better in so many different areas. Yes, you're going to fail. Yes, you're going to learn a lot. Yes, you're going to connect with a lot of different people and build a community or join a community. So it is invaluable in that sense. Invaluable in that sense. And I cannot express that enough. But what I would also say is there used to be a time where you could be a bartender. You could work in the service industry in New York City and you could still make it. You can make it by. You could be in decent shape. But unfortunately, it's just not like that anymore. It's just not. I mean, the last job that I had was in the service industry. I was the general manager. But nonetheless, the people who were working with me, they were scraping pennies, man. I mean, scraping pennies. And they were getting paid well. I mean, most service jobs, your hourly rate is probably not 23 or 24 or 25 bucks. They were getting paid that. Still couldn't make it. And they had roommates, rent maybe $1,000, no money to do anything else. It's just gotten way out of hand. And New York City is becoming a city for the ultra elite, for the ultra wealthy. It's almost getting to a point where they've got to do something because these people can't afford it. The service industry workers cannot afford it. So, what happens? You get the young kids who move in on mommy and daddy's dime. They don't paying for anything. And that's another thing, too. You start to notice people who have nice things and nice-ass apartments and you know what their salary is. I'm not hating, but I'm just saying, like, the honest, hardworking person in New York City is even getting pushed out, and that is scary. And on top of the grind and the hard work and the getting up in the morning and reading the book and studying the plan and whatever, you need a lot of luck. You need connections. You need stamina. You have to just be go 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 all the time because it's so competitive and everyone around you is trying to get better and get what you have. It's just a fight for space. It's a fight for the same thing, and it's a rat race. And now I really truly understand why they call things the trap because I know people who are trapped in New York City. They want to leave. They want to go back home to their family, but their family has no money. They have no money. They can't afford to move. So they are trapped there and they have no choice. In New York City, you will be homeless in a second. They do not care. They do not care. I see how people crash out. I see how people become homeless because I get it. I've been there. It's tough and it feels like there's nothing you can do in New York City. It offers you nothing. It promises you nothing. It can give you the world, but it promises you absolutely nothing. I worked very, very hard in New York City. I signed thousands of dollars worth of deals. I got paid doing so many different things. And I'm here to tell you, think long and hard about whether or not you want to go there. Because there's things that you cannot control. There's people that you're going to come across that maybe not have your best interest in mind. But it's a city for the ruthless. But if you can make it there, then you most certainly can make it anywhere. I do think that is true. So in closing today, y'all, just thank you for sticking with me. This is sort of a different style of video, as you can see. But I had to hop back on here because it's been way too long since I had done a video. So Rixo is back. You're going to be seeing some different environments. I'm going to be talking about some different topics, so bear with me. And leave some likes, comments down below, and let me know what y'all think about this. I'm sort of going to be switching gears soon. Won't be talking as much New York City content, but nonetheless, I'm happy to have y'all here and wouldn't be here without y'all. So, peace. Appreciate y'all.